Before we begin our countdown, please subscribe, like and share. The 2006 FA Cup final went down as one of the most dramatic matches in the competition's history. West Ham were leading 3-2 and with the match entering injury time, Liverpool played the ball into the West Ham penalty area, where it was cleared but only as far as Steven Gerrard, 35 yards from goal. The Liverpool captain hit the ball on the volley and it flew along a low trajectory past goalkeeper Shaka Hislop into the bottom corner of the West Ham goal, 3-3. Game on. The goal forced the match into extra time and subsequently penalty shootout, where Liverpool triumphed 3-1 to land their 7th FA Cup title in history. The quarter-final match between Netherlands and Argentina at the 1998 World Cup in France was tied at 1-1 and heading to extra time when a speculative long ball was launched into the Argentine area in the 90th minute. To begin with, such a ball would have been impossible to control for most forwards but not for Dennis Bergkamp. The attacker expertly brought the ball down with a deft control and took it beyond the last Argentine defender before rifling past the goalkeeper with aplomb. That goal was Bergkamp's greatest goal and one of the most iconic goals in World Cup history. The final of 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil went into extra time as both teams couldn't find a way past each other. In the second half of extra time, 113th minute, André Schürrle raced past two Argentine defenders on the left before crossing into the penalty area, where Mario Götze controlled the ball on his chest and then sent a left-footed volley into the net. The goal secured the Germans' fourth-ever World Cup title and their first since the country's reunification in 1990. Celtic went into the game against Kilmarnock knowing that a victory will all but secure them the title for the 2006-07 league season. But Kilmarnock gave a good account of themselves and the match seemed like it would end in a draw, with both teams tied 1-1. In the 92nd minute, Celtic won a free kick 25 yards from goal and Nakamura stepped forward. The Japanese midfielder curled an astonishing ball around the defensive wall and beyond the static Rangers' goalkeeper. The Old Firm derby match between Rangers and Celtic is one of the fiercest in the world. One of the most iconic moments in the derby's history came in the 2009 10th season. Coming into the match, Rangers were on the verge of sealing the title and needed 3 points to do so, but Celtic were determined to spoil the show and the game was heading towards a stalemate. But in the 93rd minute, Rangers got a corner and a scramble ensued when the set piece was delivered into the Celtic box. Amidst the chaos, the ball kindly fell to Maurice Adu and the American duly bundled it home, and sealed the title. Barcelona and Chelsea played a 0-0 draw in the first leg of their 2009 Champions League semi-finals clash at Camp Nou, and there was everything to play for in the return leg at Stamford Bridge. In the second leg, Chelsea looked on course for a place in the final when Michael Essien gave them a 9th-minute lead and Eric Abidal later got sent off for Barcelona. The Blues held on till injury time but, with 93 minutes on the clock, Lionel Messi squared the ball to Iniesta on the edge of the Chelsea box and the Spaniard wonderfully struck the ball into the top corner, breaking Chelsea hearts. The 2006 FIFA World Cup semi-finals clash between hosts Germany and eventual champions Italy is one of the most iconic matches in the tournament's history. Germany were one of the tournament favorites and impressed on their way to the last four. Italy had battled there to that stage, playing a conservative defensive football. The game was forced into extra time as the Italians defended resolutely. Both teams still couldn't find a way through and a penalty shootout loomed large. With just 3 minutes left to play, Italy won a corner and it was delivered into the box. The ball was cleared but as far as Andrea Pirlo, who gathered the ball in front of the 18-yard box and with 4 touches, dribbled to the right channel. Without looking up, he passed the ball with the inside of his foot to an unmarked Fabio Grosso, who swung his foot at it. Bang! It went into the back of the net. When Real Madrid won their 9th UEFA Champions League title in 2002, hardly would they have thought that it will take them another 12 years before reaching another final. The Blancos had been chasing the 10th title, which they dubbed La Decima. Madrid finally got a chance to achieve that dream when they reached the final in 2014. But city rivals Atletico Madrid, who sensationally won the La Liga title that season, lie in wait. Diego Simeone's men took the lead in the 36th minute and parked the bus thereafter. It seemed Cristiano Ronaldo and company will be on the losing end until Sergio Ramos popped up in the 94th minute and sent in a bullet header past the Atletico keeper. The match went into extra time but Ramos' dramatic equalizer had already done the damage. Atletico Madrid's players were deflated and Real went on to win the game 4-1. Bayern had lost the Champions League final to Chelsea at home in the previous season. The Bavarians were under immense pressure to deliver in the 2013 final at Wembley against Bundesliga rivals, Borussia Dortmund. Bayern took the lead in the 60th minute through Mario Mandzukic, but Dortmund responded with an Ilkay Gundogan penalty. The match was expected to head into extra time, but Arjen Robben, who missed a crucial penalty against Chelsea in 2012, had other ideas. In the 89th minute, Frank Ribéry played in Robben with a back-heeled pass. The Dutch forward bursted past the defense and scuffed a weak, low shot past the onrushing goalkeeper with his left foot from 8 yards out for the winning goal, to redeem himself and the team. Iniesta again. Yes, the former Barcelona playmaker had a penchant for scoring memorable goals. Coming into the 2010 World Cup final, Netherlands were the favorites, having eliminated tournament favorites Brazil and surprise packages Uruguay, in the quarter-finals and semi-finals respectively. Meanwhile, Spain won most of their matches by a 1-0 scoreline on their way to the final, including the semi-final victory over Germany. The final was a cagey affair, and after a goalless 90 minutes, it went to extra time. It looked as if a penalty shootout will be required to determine the winner until the 116th minute, when Spain broke on a counterattack. Fernando Torres broke upfield and passed the ball into the center, where it bounced off a Netherlands defender. Cesc Fabregas retrieved it and passed to Iniesta, who was in space on the right-hand side of the penalty area. The Barcelona man took one touch before striking the ball past the Dutch goalkeeper into the corner of the goal. The goal sealed Spain's first ever FIFA World Cup trophy. Tottenham rose to the top of the European football under the tutelage of Mauricio Pochettino. In 2018-19, Spurs reached the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, and Ajax stood in their way to an historic first final appearance. Ajax won the first leg in London 1-0, and in the return leg at Amsterdam, the Dutch side quickly scored 2 goals in the first half to establish a 3-0 lead on aggregate. Tottenham responded immediately after the restart with 2 quick-fire goals in 5 minutes through Lucas Moura, ensuring that they needed just a single goal to progress based on away goals rule. But Ajax held firm, till when, in the 96th minute, Moura pounced on a cute Dele Alli through ball and swept home to complete his hat-trick, sparking pandemonium in the away end of the Amsterdam arena, with the Ajax players flat out on the floor. Tottenham secured a place in the final of the Champions League for the first time in their history after completing one of the most remarkable comebacks in the competition's history. The EFL Championship playoff matches are regularly dramatic, but the 2013 semi-final second leg clash between Watford and Leicester City will go down as arguably the most epic in history. Leicester won the first leg 1-0. Watford were leading in the second leg 2-1, and the game was heading to extra time when the referee awarded Leicester a penalty in the 97th minute. Fans couldn't have imagined what will happen in the next 19 seconds, even in their wildest dreams. Anthony Knockaert stepped up to take the penalty but was denied by the Watford goalkeeper Manuel Almunia. The Leicester forward went for the rebound and the keeper kept it out again. And then, Watford broke on a lightning-fast counterattack. A cross was headed back into the box and captain, Troy Deeney, smashed the ball home to draw very wild, jubilant scenes as Watford fans stormed onto the pitch in large numbers to celebrate with their players. The match has gone down in footballing folklore, thanks to the most dramatic ending, which saw Watford go from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs in just 19 turbulent seconds. The last day of the 2011-12 season has to go down as the most dramatic in Premier League history. Manchester United and Manchester City were tied on the same points going into the final matchday, but City had a far superior goal advantage. Man City's opponents on the day, QPR, were also in need of a good result to avoid relegation, so they gave a good fight. QPR led 2-1 till injury time. Edin Dzeko equalized for City in the 92nd minute to set up a tense finale. In the 94th minute, Aguero scored arguably the most dramatic goal in Premier League history to hand Man City their first EPL title in 44 years. Aguero. I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. So watch it, drink it in. This line of commentary from Martin Tyler is just as, if not more iconic, than the goal itself. PSG had won the first leg of their 2016-17 UEFA Champions League round of 16 match against Barcelona 4-0. And Barcelona had it all to do in the return leg. No one gave them a chance. How could you? Barca made a bright start in the second leg and led by 3 goals at half-time. But an Edinson Cavani goal seemed to have eliminated the Catalans, except if they could score 3 unreplied goals. Time was running out. Neymar scored a sublime free kick in the 88th minute and converted a penalty 3 minutes later to set up a nervy finish. Moments later, the Brazilian swung in a beautiful free kick in the 96th minute that Sergi Roberto turned in from close range, sending the Camp Nou into raptures. The match will go down in history as the remontada, comeback, turnaround or soar. The game is the greatest comeback in Champions League knockout history as Barcelona became the first ever team to overturn a 4-0 first-leg deficit. Manchester United and Bayern Munich came into the 1999 Champions League final with both teams aiming to complete a treble. Bayern took an early lead through Mario Basler in the 6th minute and held on resolutely as United labored for an equalizer. The Red Devils got a corner in the 90th minute. Beckham, in towards Schmeichel, it's come for Dwight York. Cleared, Giggs with the shot, Sheringham. Name on the trophy, Teddy Sheringham, with 30 seconds of added time played, has equalized for Manchester United. They are still in the European Cup. That's the voice of Clive Tyldesley, who was broadcasting the match for ITV. Game level, 1-1, less than 30 seconds later United won another corner. You have to feel this as their year. Is this their moment? Beckham, into Sheringham, and Solskjaer has won it. Manchester United have reached the promised land. Ole Solskjaer, the two substitutes have scored the 2 goals in stoppage time and the treble looms large. Clive Tyldesley on the second goal. Manchester United turned the game around and won 2-1 to seal one of the greatest, dramatic, epic and iconic moments in football history. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share.